So the city of Sandy serves about 9,600 people for their service population.
9,600 people?
Everything is ground beef in the plant. They have four working lift stations.
4 working lift stations?
Everything comes through here. They have a significant I&I issue. We've seen spikes up to 8 million here, where we're rated for 1.5. So we have a drop barrel stream, which is kind of worthless. Around equipment in a square hole. There's a lot of rags to the plant. A lot of maintenance activities, deragging pumps, pulling rocks out of things that don't belong into them. From the drum stream, we do have a dirt removal system, so we'll remove out the fines. That saves a lot of buildup in the aeration basin for the sludge retention and all that kind of good stuff. So this is the daily cleaning in the morning and the afternoon. Get rid of the rags, close them out, get them to build up the grease out. We don't have a grease sorting feeder in town, so no grease traps. As you go through the plant, you'll see that we have a lot of foam due to a lot of grease that comes through the plant.
I think it's from restaurants and stuff, or what?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The auger here feeds into the dumpster. This is all timed here. He's up here.
I see some corn.
The rag comes around the bend and then out into repeat the MGD flow, 7 MGD, peak daily flow. Do have spikes here, lots of I&I issues. 20 to 25% solids.
Oh, Class B.
Class B solids.
So it's line stabilized.
Line stabilized.
So you say you guys
Here's the bay.
belt press?
Yes.
It's not,
Yeah.
not operational right now?
Still storing salt, because once we start pressing there,
Belt press, not operating now.
we can hold that sludge before it has to be applied.
Yeah.
So we don't start pressing until we know that we're going to be able to apply it by the end of next month.
When does the plant open?
Pardon?
When does the plant open?
98.
98.
Belt press, solids will mix with the polymer, they'll flow on top, and you can see the white clouds or chicanes is a technical term, which will help mix the polymer into the solids. Once they are mixed well, the water will be able to fall out of the perforated belt. As the solids and the sludge comes through the belt, it winds through, as you can see on this end of it. It runs through some pinchers and actually will squeeze the excess water out of it. And at the end, you get a very nice, anywhere from 20 to 25% solid product. It's a very, very thick pudding. As it falls off the back doctor blade, it goes into a screw auger where hydrated lime is added to raise the pH to meet biosolids 503 lime stabilized sludge criteria. That is held for a minimum of 24 hours to make sure pH is attained, and after that we can haul it out and apply it. The truck that we use to apply has a side slinger on it, so it just flings out dirt clod size wads of sludge on the field. Exactly.
You said there was like a number, 503?
503 is the biosolids regulations in this field of work.
DEQ?
Yes.
And we'll be getting there in a few weeks. So this is good to see this when we get into solids handling. This is where we're going to talk about it, as well as the process for Class A versus Class B. So this is a good example of what we're going to be talking about in a little bit.
Scott, was there anything else you might think of to add about the belt press? Okay.
Is the maintenance just basically greasing the...
Greasing, and if you have to, it's pretty involved to replace the belt on this. You can replace the chicanes up top. There's a lot of babysitting it to make sure that you don't have too much polymer, too little polymer. A lot of cleanup at the end of the day. It's a good half hour for an hour project just to shut it down and wash it up.
So the polymer is like a clay-based product?
No, it looks like it's like a milky white product. We get ours immersed in liquid, so we just pump it out of that tote that you passed coming in. We think ours is a cation, so it tracks all the ions, so it makes a good flock to it. So it allows the water to separate out very easily.
All right.
And we probably use probably 800 gallons of polymer a year to do a full
800 gallons a year.
full backup of solids that we're pulling right now.
All right.
What's that? It doesn't sound like it. Well, no, but that'll give you. I think we put out 90 tons with that.
90
That's
tons?
hauled. That's hauled
1,000
out.
gallons for 90 tons.
Does this machine put off a bunch of heat?
No, the secondary cell. Periodically, we will decant what water we can.
Make grease on top here.
Oh, this is only about an inch or two.
What do you do with grease?
Try to get it pressed out and hauled out.
Hold up.
Try to get encapsulated. So what we'll do is we have submersible pumps that we can raise up and down and try to decant the water out to make more room. Bring it over here to the third cell. We can pump that out to our lagoon that we'll see later on for wintertime sludge storage. And that's all it does anymore is just sits there. There's diffused air in it so we can mix it and aerate it. Let it settle to try to get a better decant the next couple days.
How thick is that sludge?
How thick is this? He wants to know if he can 1.5–2%.
Yeah, can it stand on?
No.
Not for very long.
Quicksand.
The flow will come into the center and splits to go to one side or the other. We have them running series right now.
Going in
We'll also
series.
come in here through these mixing zones where we can add air to these, or we prefer to leave them in the anoxic condition. There's two mixers to help keep the solids moving through. We can add air if we wanted to get out of biological nutrient removal, but right now we have ammonia reduction, so we keep in BNR. That's why it's anoxic and then aerobic. And then we go back to the clarifiers. It goes back to anoxic again.
And that's because to remove ammonia, you guys?
It removes our ammonia, but also reduces nitrates and nitrites. If I remember right.
Nitrification and denitrification.
That too.
Vice versa.
Yep. What's required is you have to be lower than the 40. Our last test, we were 12 on our BOD.
What is your level you need to be at?
Below 40 for the monthly. Aeration basin.
No oxygen. I mean, anaerobic.
Coming in.
Through the center.
What's that?
Sandy?
Tickle Creek, if I'm not mistaken, goes to Deep Creek.
Deep Creek goes into the clock.
Does it go straight to Clackamas, or does it hit Eagle Creek in between?
It goes straight to the clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Ultimately, like everyone
This
else,
is the F1.
along the valley
We end
area,
up
discharging it along.
Oh, no, you're discharging it. Oh, wait, no. It's either laminar.
So what's this tank called then?
this sounds
This
like
is an EQ pond.
EQ stands for?
Equalization.
Okay.
As I was explaining to them, we can only discharge a 10-to-1 dilution ratio to the creek in the wintertime. So if we want to put 1 million gallons a day into the creek has to be flowing at 10 mgd. Otherwise,
measure
we're in
that?
violation. Yep, we have a staff gauge that we have to
What's
get their
your-
readings off of.
Okay. Nice.
What's the acreage on this? 1.5 million gallons.
How many gallons?
Equalization.
So that product in here will get pulled and run over the belt. And then from the belt it'll get.
So they're getting ready to switch over.
everybody will be this term. Yep.
They don't run their belt press during the winter, so they store it here until summer when they can land apply it.
Now, if we had winter biosalts fields, we could press year round, but since we don't.
Without access to the ability
we can't
to
drive the truck on the field.
disperse, they bring it over here and just let it
If you
stay
want,
in
we
here
got our
like a
side
stabilization
printer
pond,
biosalts truck right
and
over
then
here. Take a quick look
then they
at that.
take and pull it back through the solids handling. So this is just like instead of running the gravity belt thickener all year round, they put it in here, they wait. So it's like waste activated sludge in here, right here. And then from here, they're going to bring this out. And so from here, you'll put it on the belt press come summertime and take this and press it all down. Is that the kind of like a holding tank?
We use it for that purpose because we don't have enough digester space. It's design purposes as an EQ basin. or
Okay.
an EQ pond,
Okay.
because we can only run a 10-to-1 dilution to the creek in the wintertime.
Okay.
So if we have too much flow, we need to divert here so we're not putting too much into the creek.
Great. Cool.
But because of our lack of digester space, yeah, we wind up pushing the digester here a few times over the winter.
Okay. Sodium hypochlorite liquid at 12.5%. Pretty good size. Yep, so it's the best smell in the plant. Okay. Or we have the UV when they discharge to the creek.
A very, very short while in oxygen to here.
Here, we're going to
To clarify this.
So that's been a long.
Well, these ones are. They're only pre-steamed.
So they use chlorine when they discharge to the nursery, and then
in the
they
tank had a
use UV when they discharge to
Chlorine
the
is
creek.
injected with the
Chlorine when they discharge to the nursery. UV when they discharge to the creek. This is clarifier number 2 here. Okay, you can see it. In the middle here. Down here. Lots of grease here. Here. Back over to here. No fog grease prevention program
I
here.
said at this point, if they instituted one, it thinks they're going to totally flip the plant upside down because it thinks the plant's been operating this way for so long. It doesn't think it's the process of working.
Does it go to this clarifier first? This is primary clarifier 1.
I honestly, I can't
Splitter box
tell.
coming off that.
In series. No. Or yeah, in parallel.
In parallel. So these are in parallel coming off the splitter box. So we go headworks over there. Okay. Down the middle. We go anoxic, oxic, touch air in it, and then we go anoxic one more time, and then there's a splitter box which can send it either to primary clarifier 1 or primary clarifier 1 here, and primary clarifier number 2 and more dirtier.
Regulate flow during high flows to keep the solids from basically overwhelming this clarifier and direct some of them back over here.
You guys have a big problem with your guys' pipes, sewer pipes, problem with and stuff like that?
No, we don't.
It flows. Is that right here?
In here, well, yeah, because city maintains collections. So that's up to them.
Just spraying right back down here.
And then, yeah, they just go there and they flush it out of their line and it lands here.
UV bulbs.
chlorine is injected up on this end, or runs through a little bit of contact time in the wet well, where either 1, 2, or 3 of the pumps will pump it up and discharge it out to the nursery. That's the effluent flow meter.
Flow meter. Right now they're using chlorine, 12.5 liquid sodium hypochlorite, so they're not using these. This is their UV
We
train.
also have 2 disc filtration systems to clean up the effluent. They're just over on that side.
2 disc effluent filtrations over on this side here. Just spinning in there. Effluent filtration. UV liquid sodium hypochlorite as well. 3 different choices. Love it. Dosing of liquid sodium hypochlorite. This filter here. Here's the, of course, the UV. Electrical bill. The electrical bill will be comparative.
So
Based on electricity cost.
We were going to the creek. Since the nursery wanted to have water, we just had to switch early since it's been dry. Pull these up, turn the chlorine on, and then switch the valve, pump it about 3,000 to 6,000 feet. That's not cool. No, it's not. It's free clean water.
System here. Depending on the liquid discharge to the
So who built it for the discharge channel? I think the city did that. Yep. And once it gets into their pond, then the nursery responsibility. So they've got other requirements for DEP they have to do. Oh yeah. I mean they use up to 3 million gallons a day. Wow. They've got hundreds and hundreds of acres. Yeah.
I go up to Mount Hood, drive all the way to the top, and take care of the wastewater treatment plants there.
Nice. That's nice. So Timberline, and then do they go Timberline and run down through back to here?
Oh, you can go up in any order you want. I generally hit Government Camp first, then Timberline, then Zigzag Village, all the way back.
Nice.
So you get a deal on the lift tickets?
I want to.
Wow, that's not a bad place to be.
You couldn't believe it. They dumped there's about a foot of snow there that got dumped in the last 24 hours. We went up there, the plows hadn't even hit the road yet. We had to forge across the snow just to get to our plant.
Great. I'm glad that it worked out that you got over here, because I kept saying, because you'd worked for them in Wilsonville.
Yeah.
Right? So you did your internship at Wilsonville, and I'm glad that they said, hey, come on out. Now you got the headworks, right? From the headworks.
From the headworks, there are no primary clarifiers, so everything just goes straight into the aeration basins. The reason why we have so much scum is because there's no, fog program, no fats, oils, or grease. So we get everything from Sandy,
Okay.
and it's just from the city of Sandy. It's not from any of the outer lying regions.
Okay.
So that comes in there, hits the secondaries, things get
Mostly
separated out.
anoxic, and then we bubble oxygen at the end?
Oh yeah, it starts off as anoxic, the first 2 chambers up there, and then it's aerated at the end.
Then from there to a splitter box, and either to this, one of these 2 clarifiers.
Yeah, these wonderful looking clarifiers.
All right, from the wonderful looking clarifiers, we swing it over to here, and we can either chlorinate or UV.
Chlorinate or UV. This plant's a little odd because during the winter time they discharge into Chickle Creek, but during the summertime they make no discharge at all. What they discharge into is these farms, not like food farms, but like they grow Christmas trees and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they're actually discharging right now to those farms because they called us earlier and they were like, we want water.
Okay, so the farms, if the fish get it, it's UV. If the farmers get it, it's chlorinated.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question for you. On the clarifiers, I noticed that there is a lot of algae along the V-notch.
Yep.
Do those ever get cleaned, or?
Of course, we clean them like 5 or 6 times a day.
Really?
I know it doesn't look like we take care of our plants, so we have to hose that thing out like so much.
It's just there's a lot.
I
don't need that.
We usually take the temperature whenever we do the pH. We're required 3 a week, and we get them out every time we do it. Matt, was there anything else you?
No, do we have a lab at all?
Questions?
No, do we have a lab at all? Just kind of show them a quick lab?
No.
Oh, do they
Big
give
lab
us-
would be on Thursdays.
Okay.
We do our permit TSS.
Perfect. No, I think that's everything. No, that's great. Thank you.